Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning. My name is Diane Wesley Smith. Welcome to San Francisco News. This month we're celebrating Black History. There is, we're going to start celebrating Black History this month. This is the official Black History Month. However, Black history is part of American history, so as long uh, we will continue to celebrate Black history because we continue to celebrate American history. We kicked off our celebration of Black history with President Shaman Walton. Shaman Walton is a supervisor of District 10, and he was unanimously elected as the first of all, he was elected unanimously as the first Black Board of Supervisor president. We have a lot of great Black history news happening right here in San Francisco. I mean, that's awesome. Then, before that, but we're going to go in order. We should have started with the mayor. Mayor, I apologize, but we're going to make it right. We are in the business and we are in the belief of righting our wrongs, making amends where they are, wherever they're needed. Anything we can do to make things better. I challenge you this year as we celebrate and unite around Black history, also advocating that it is included in the curriculum in schools. Because when Black people don't know who they are, when other races don't know who we are, there's Black people that their level of havingness is low because they don't have the self-esteem, because they don't know who they are. They don't know that Black is and that they are worthy, just like everyone else. So when we don't know that, we do things like we just saw the guy running out of the crime that's happening in Chinatown in Oakland. The Blacks, any Blacks that are involved, and I saw this Black guy ran out. If I knew who he was, I would let someone know, because that's not part of us. That's not who we are, and that's a hybrid. The stealing and murder and babies everywhere, money in the mail, not being self-supporting by our own contributions and all that. That's some New Jack-ish. Okay, that one of the things that my generation is committed to passing on are the values that got us to where we are now. Overall, okay? So we have to know who we are as a people. Others will learn from us, but they also must be taught in school, because there's no way one can be racist when they understand, when they're educated, okay? There's no way. Racism can only exist where ignorance exists. And that could be a Black person being racist against Chinese, a Black person, anybody being racist against someone else. We have to have our own. Everyone should have their own. And when society understands, all other races understand, let's start with Chinese and white, Black, Chinese, and white understand our history, well, it'll be better for all of us. Mayor Breed. I say these things also because Mayor London Breed, the first Black woman mayor of San Francisco, our native city, her native city, my native city. And I am so proud of London Breed, Mayor Breed. What she's doing is phenomenal. She's governing a city. She is uniting us. She is supporting all communities. She just allocated some money to fund Chinatown, because we're risking the loss. We're losing businesses in Chinatown. We're losing businesses throughout the city. And the mayor is working like an octopus, reaching out into all communities and allocating money to help these communities. Her job is very challenging, and her attitude is the right attitude. She has the right disposition that we need in San Francisco to protect us. Mayor Breed made a statement when COVID, it was time to start protecting ourselves against COVID. And she said we were not going to wait around. She says, we're not going to wait around until the government, I'm not sure, I'm paraphrasing now, but it was until someone else said that it was okay when she to take precautionary measures and follow the protocol to avoid COVID-19 transmission, which is, right, hand washing, mask, and 6 feet different distance. Do you know we still, and I want to thank you again, Mayor Breed, as I'm following you and I'm following your direction, thousands of us are. The city is following your direction, and we just want to compliment you right now for your courage, for your empathy, for your compassion, and your hard work. And we are at the light at the end of the tunnel now. Mayor Breed, she's obviously an American politician, but for the Black History official recognition, let me just share with you that Mayor Breed was born in August, as she is an American politician, as we know, from California. What's nice is this is in Wikipedia. She's our 45th mayor of San Francisco. She formerly served as the supervisor of District 5, and she was president of the Board of Supervisors from 2015 to 2018. I believe that's Black history also. Black history is happening right here in my native city. We love it. We love it. I would not live anywhere else. We also, under Mayor Breed, we are also developing a housing resource committee that will have some teeth in it, and we will figure out together, those of us that are working under her direction, together we will figure out how to increase Black home ownership. At one time, District 10, which is Shaman Walton's district, the home ownership of Black people in San Francisco was 37%, and primarily the majority of the homeowners were in our community, District 10, and more specifically in Bayview. A lot has been lost. This is the time that we will regain, we will heal, and we will reparate. Reparations are clearly due, and this is why education is so important, because I know right now there's some people of other races saying the Blacks always get everything. Why did the Blacks get everything? If you understand Black history, if you know Black history, you will know there's systematic racism, and it's systemic. In other words, it's everywhere, and it is directly it is directed toward us. And let me bring it on home for you. If I were that color, I could have ran for mayor. She has the right color for the season, but let me be very clear. We have a long way to go in Black history, because right now you have to have the complexion for the protection. Part of Black history, let me share with you, my mother was my first Black history teacher, and she was Blacker than I. And James Brown came out with I'm Black and I'm Proud, so I was blessed to come up to be raised by an educated Black woman who knew who she was and knew Black history very well. So some of the common insecurities and complexes one may have about being this complexion and want to compare themselves against Mayor Breed's wonderful complexion, it's all good. But you don't have to feel insecure. Every single color, every single complexion is beautiful just the way it is. Black is made out of God's finest black. Every color under the rainbow. We're Baskin and Robbins style. 31 shades of beautiful black. Hats off, look at our beautiful mayor. This was before she started working to save us all protect us from COVID. This is our mayor at a press conference that she held regarding COVID vaccinations. She worked so hard. She had to, this was a press release which was informing the city what we needed to do to stay safe and protect ourselves from COVID-19. As I speak right now, Mayor Breed has been opening up mass vaccination sites. My husband and I received our vaccination. I'm 68, he's 75, and we received our vaccinations at City College on January the 30th. And I just want to share with you the only side effect that we felt was pain in the injection site, or in other words, wherever you receive the injection. So don't use your dominant arm when you go to get your vaccination. Nothing to be afraid of. But if you're sniffling when they ask these questions, Mayor Breed is directing us to be honest about our health condition, to answer the questions honestly. We know to be honest, but let's make sure that we do. Let's not. There was one person who died from the COVID vaccination, and let me share with you, because facts are important. Rumors are irrelevant, and rumors are destructive. If you have COVID, you can't get the vaccination. The gentleman who died like 15 minutes after the injection was because he had COVID. That's all I can say. I don't know if he was hoping and praying that maybe that would take it away. I don't know I don't know what the situation was, but the reason they ask specific questions that must be answered with a no answer, and those answers must be true, not true to the best of your knowledge, but true. Your life depends on it. The life of your loved ones, your safety depends on it. So, just want to share that with you. So here we are now at the time of this recording. I'm over a week later, and I've had no other side effects. Oh, I did feel a little lightheadedness, but that was like right after I got the injection. We pulled into the at City College. Great setup, so organized. All these mass evacuation sites. Vaccination sites. All these mass evacuation. I'm so excited that we're at the end of the tunnel and we're in the light. Okay, I'm so excited. Please forgive me. Vaccination. We have mass vaccination sites established under Mayor Breed's guidance, and they are so organized and orderly. It's a wonderful time to be a San Franciscan, and let me interject, it's a wonderful time to be a Californian. Kudos, shouts out to Governor Gavin Newsom. We're not having any recall event up. That's ridiculous. Anyway, moving right along. Also, Mayor Breed endorsed Mayor Gavin Newsom. They work very closely together. They are our dynamic duo. And now we have, let me show you this picture. Mayor Breed has a very good relationship with our Vice President, Kamala Harris. Vice President Harris, excuse me. And we have someone on the local level, on the state level, and on the national level to help protect our fair city. And I call it a fair city because it is a fair city. And it's gonna take all of us to bring it into reality. But it's coming back. That's what a lot of us grew up under. People older than I remember. But older than I, it wasn't so fair for blacks. It started getting better like in the 60s, so it's going to get even better. It comes in waves, folks, but we're not going to stop. We're not going to disrespect people. We're going to unite. It is time for unity in the black community. Crabs in a barrel, there's no time for that. We can't afford it. Our children can't afford it. You can't afford it. Your bloodline can't afford it. People of other nationalities can't afford it. No one can afford it. So those are two firsts right there, by the way. Happy Black History again. The first black vice president, Kamala Harris. The first black mayor of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed. Okay, we're in the COVID. I'm in a protected environment. As soon as I finish this telecast, I will go right back to my mask. See, it's so easy to function with a mask. It's so easy. So protective. and it kind of matches. But more importantly, it is for protection of others. Even after my second vaccination will be on February the 28th. And even after then, until COVID is gone, we will continue to wear our mask. We have been in a bubble, my husband and I, since May the 9th. I saw that press conference. You see the expression on the mayor's face because it was grave. She, under her guidance, by God's grace, of course, we all know that, we are in the light. But at that time, we were not. And so it was very grave. People were dying, and she wanted us to understand. When Mayor Breed looks like that, it's time to pay attention. That means people are falling short, and we can't afford to fall short. So we're in the light. Under the mayor's guidance, there were many press conferences that she held. At one time, they were like daily to keep us updated. There were places that opened. There's some people that were upset, and we understand. The small businesses, we understand. I mean, I have a small business, but I cannot complain because I can voice my opinion, but I can't complain because it is what it is. I cannot change what it is. What I can do is use my energy to practice some acceptance, to practice some acceptance, and then I can maintain my smile. I can maintain my patience. We can maintain patience. We must with acceptance. It just is like oil. It makes things easier because it is what it is. So I'm wishing you all well. The mayor she has led us through to a phenomenal, that was on a good day. See, so you see the difference? Everything's sunny and bright. And when it's not, there's no playtime. She's very capable. She's very determined. And what we love most is Mayor London Breed can operate on all levels. It was a good day. And we just want to thank you, Mayor Breed. We want to personally apologize to you for anything that we said that was not conducive. And I want to take back everything I said personally because I was wrong. And I apologize. There's no shame. We used to say there's no shame in my game. There's no shame. Wrong is wrong, and we must be able to admit it. We must be able to agree to disagree. And I'm sharing with you what I've learned through the years. Oh, life is good. God is good. San Francisco is a wonderful place to be. We are working on bringing people back to San Francisco, Black people that were displaced because of redevelopment, which was the worst thing that ever happened. I was too young then to know what was going on. Or we would have known how to fight then. I remember that I would have been involved in the fight. But the good news is there are a lot of us that are here now. And so now we can work on the reparations, and we can work. Reparations merely means righting what has been wronged. And that's what we're going to do in 21. We're going to right what has been wronged. People have been displaced. Because they came into black people have been displaced because the government came into black communities and displaced people. When people would not sell their homes, they were, there's a phrase in real estate, there's a legal exemption that the government has called eminent domain. And they condemn some homes, and they enforce eminent domain. Thousands of black people left their homes. If people want to come back, we need to know who you are. Contact the Mayor's Office of Housing, or you can send an email to sfnewstv@gmail.com. Or you can reach out to us through Bayvac Studios, and we will make sure that your name is added to the list, and I will personally reach out and contact you. I promise you that. What we're working on doing is identifying who had to move. We're working on identifying who is ready to purchase, who needs ready to purchase market rate, needs some down payment assistance, who's ready to purchase below market rate. It's a great time in San Francisco. Make sure that we get your name. If you're ready, let us know. If you need help getting ready, let us know. You know, I designed, by God's grace, I designed the Get Ready home ownership workshops, which Lennar used, which San Francisco Housing and Development Corporation used. I didn't patent it because it's not that, we're not concerned about that. What we're concerned about is that people have the opportunity. What we're going to make sure that happens, and I personally guarantee that anything that I touch, we're going to follow up, we're going to be on time, we're going to take care of business, and we're going to deliver what is promised. That's the way Black people operate. We deliver what's promised. We show up on time. We're not colored, so we do not show up late. Only colored people show up late. So I just need to put that out there because this is 2021. And 2021 is going to be good, son and daughter. So I just want to conclude. I want to conclude saying thank you for joining us for Black History Month. We want to, again, say happy Black History. Mayor London Breed, Mayor of San Francisco, of the city and county of San Francisco, Mayor of San Francisco. San Francisco is also a county. And the last thing I'd like to leave you with is, you know, Black history is American history. And it must be taught in schools. If it is not taught in schools, how will people know? It must be part of the curriculum from elementary school, junior high school, or middle school now, high school, college, all across all educational curriculums. It must be added. The level of ignorance of Black history has been detrimental to everyone. Black people first, because some Blacks are doing some things that if they knew who they were, they would not do these things. That's what I refer to when I call it the old way. The old way. For those of you that don't know, people look at the Chinese and a lot of the Chinese don't know that their way is the same way that we had. You know, it was the same. We bought the home. First, we all lived together. My mom and the whole family lived together. Everyone was saving money. Then mom bought the house and one person bought a house, and that's how it went. So I grew up ready to preparing to buy a house. And it's your leverage. So you have two types of housing. You have below market rate and you have market rate. Below market rate will not give you the leverage. If you want leverage, then you've got to buy market rate, and we'll help you with that. If you want below market rate just so you can own something, get in and get started, we can help you with that. But we must have back to Black history, because home ownership is part of Black history, particularly in San Francisco. So, educators, parents, families, make sure that your children know Black history. Educators, make sure that you encourage complete history education. History, American history in its entirety. The good, bad, and the ugly. There's some things that we don't want to see, but we can't, if we don't look at it. That's why it was so great to see racism unveiled in its true form. And man, it hurt. I saw it one day and oh my God, if you've ever experienced it up close and personal, the level of hate, I experienced it. It was in a big white truck. I said, shoot, he riding like a Proud Boy. The hate was so deep. I just decided to turn off the freeway, and I have a car that has some giddy up. I said I was legal, but I hit that giddy up. It felt so good. That was freedom. I have freedom. We must have freedom. That's the only way I can free myself. But so, that level of hate, that was an ignorant fool. He didn't know where I came. He did not know black people. He didn't know slavery is interrupted our history. We came here, we were brought here and treated to inhumane conditions. So when you see black people that are acting inhumane, when I see black people acting inhumane, that is part of the slavery it was whipped into us to be inhumane. We're fighting for our humanity. Black history ensures our humanity. What happened to us, the history of our existence in this country, the good and the bad must be shown. It must be dealt with. And that is why we must have reparations, because when they freed the slaves had nothing. We couldn't get free land. Whites, all they had to do was just get out there and stake their land, and then they began to build wealth. We didn't have that. They said, brace yourself by your bootstraps. We had no boots. But it's okay, because we rise. We have continued to rise. And in 2021, by merciful God's grace, I don't care what your religion is, God is love. And if you have love, compassion, or how about this? Just some good old-fashioned respect, everything will be all right. So let's respect each other. Dear friends, let us love one another if we can. But if you can't go love one another, just respect one another. Dear friend, let's start there. I want to thank you so much for spending Black History with me, honoring our illustrious Mayor, London Breed. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Black history is part of America. Black history is American history. We must do better in education. Happy Black History, folks. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm Diane Wesley Smith. I'll see you next time. Again, if you need any help purchasing, this is not for me. It's not commission-based. I operate pro bono. If you have money, there is a charge, but not for this. When I provide, so don't worry about that. Like they say, I got you. I'm working with a group of people that got you. And we have the support of the mayor. We have the support of our president of the Board of Supervisors, Shaman Walton, who is also the supervisor for our district. So keep hope alive. Hope is alive. Keep trusting God. We're in the light at the tunnel. Take care. Get your COVID-19 vaccination. There's nothing to be afraid of, folks, based on my experience. That's my recommendation. They're not taking it, some of the virus, and injecting it in you. They're injecting, it's like new technology. They're going to inject something in you an element in you that will recognize COVID and fight it. That's all. You're not going to get any COVID. So is it better to get COVID, or is it better to prevent COVID and risk a few side effects, which I haven't heard of any yet, except that injection site, the arm will get sore, so don't use your dominant arm. Get vaccinated. Happy Black History. Thank you for joining me. I'm Diane Wesley Smith. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.